And welcome to part 5 of financial accounting. Today we're going to do some account receivables, and for you to understand fully you have to watch the previous video, so please go ahead and pause this video and go watch those you haven't watched and come back to this one. So today we're going to talk about account receivable, which is money owed to a company for goods or services delivered but has not yet been paid from the customers. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And we have to look at the allowance for debtful accounts. It actually subtracts from the total receivables on the balance sheets just to show the amount expected to be paid. The allowance for debtful account is a calculation that estimates the percentage of accounts receivable that will be uncollected. Yeah. And net credit sales, pretty much you can figure it out by the name, but it's revenues made by company that extends to consumers on credit, all sales, returns, allowances, etc. Any sales for which payment is made promptly in cash are not included in net credit sales. Yeah. And uncollectible accounts receivable are receivables that are loans or debts that debtors will not pay. Yeah. When receivables or debts are not paid, the amount are credited to the account receivable and debited to the allowance for debtful accounts. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the question. It's a long question, so it's important that you understand everything and that you read everything carefully. So the company X had balances in account receivable of $200,000 and an allowance for debtful accounts of $9,000. During the period, it had net credit sales of $650,000 and collections of $590,000. Yeah. It wrote off as uncollectible accounts receivable of $5,000. Sorry. However, a $3,000 account previously written off as uncollectible was recovered before the end of the current period. Uncollectible accounts are estimated to total $20,000 at the end of the period. Yeah, makes sense. Let's look at what they want us to do. Yeah. So they would like us to prepare the entries to record sales and collections during the period. They would like us to prepare the entry to record a write-off of uncollectible accounts during the period. Prepare the entries to record the recovery of uncollectible accounts during the period. Prepare the entry to record bad debts expense for a period. Determine the ending balance in account receivable and allowance for debtful accounts. Calculate the net realizable value of receivables at the end of the period. Yeah, so this could be an exam question that you have to do, and it's pretty long. I mean, if you haven't done it before, you've come to the first time to the exam, you're probably gonna get a worse mark than you would if you have practiced. pretty self-explanatory, but never mind. Let's continue. Yeah, so let's start with A1. Prepare the entries to record sales and collection of the period. Yeah. So what we have to do, essentially, we have to debit account receivable, and as you know, debit, credit, right? I'm not gonna write it out all the time. You have to just get it. So it's 650, right? $650,000, and then we have to do sales revenue. So sales revenue. We have to credit that. And then we have to do cash because we collected, right? So collection of cash. Cash was 590,000. Yeah, and then we have to do account receivable again. Let's say this is a big O. Yeah, account receivable 590,000. Yeah, so this would be a perfect answer for question A, and it took about a couple of seconds. Let's look at question B. Prepare the entry to record the write-off of uncollectible accounts during the period. So we have to debit allowance for debtful accounts. So I'm just gonna write allowance for debtful accounts right here, you know, like this, because it's gonna take They are very, very long if I write it the whole thing. So we're going to do that for 5,000, right? We had it 5,000 here, 5,000 for that. And then we have to do account receivable, pretty much, for 5,000 because we're going to receive it. So, and that is pretty much the answer for question B. I hope you got this correct because this was the easy one. Yeah. Next one. Prepare the entries to record recovery of uncollectible amounts during the period. And we have to read the text. However, and here we go. This is what we want. So we have to account receivable, obviously. That's an easy one. So 3,000, like that. And then we actually have to do allowance for debtful accounts, yeah? For 3,000 as well, in order to get it correct. Yeah. That was the C. And then we have to do the cash one, because cash, we have to debit cash, of course, for 3,000. And then we have to do account receivable, yeah? So AR for 3,000 as well, in order to make it 100% correct, yeah? Let's look at D. Better exam. I'm not going to tell you exactly how I've done it because I've done it in previous videos. I'm just going to write how it is. So bad debt expense. So bad debt expense. Sorry, bad debt expense for 13,000. And then we have to do allowance for the full account, 13,000. This one is correct. In order to calculate this, either go into my videos, look at it closely, or try to Google it. Yeah, I'm not going to explain everything. Yeah, so let's look at the next question. So determine the ending balance in accounts receivable and allowance for debtful accounts. Yeah, so we're going to do T-tables, and if you don't know what T-tables are, which means that you haven't watched my videos, and I want you to watch my videos for some reason. So these are T-tables pretty much. Yeah. So this one is account receivable, and this one is allowance for debtful accounts. Yeah. So we have to look at when we got this kind of questions, we always start with a beginning balance of 200,000. So let's write 200,000 right here. Yeah. Let me see, 200,000. Yeah. And then we have to do the sales revenue, which is the credit sales right here. So we're going to write that one in here. Let's see. Yeah. Here we go. And then we have to do the recovery, and that's pretty much on the debit side finished. And then we have to do the credit side. This is debit. You should know this. Yeah. Yep. And then we have to do the collections. So we collected 590, which do like this. Yeah. And then we wrote off 5,000. Remember, wrote off. We have to put that here. So 5,000 wrote it off. And collections as well. So 3,000 as well. Here you go. Let me just. Was that bad? So what we have to do now is that we have to sum up each side and take this side right here minus this side. Just give me a second. It's going to. Yep. So the end balance would be 255,000. I'm sorry, you can't even read that. No, I'm just gonna do like this. So it's 2, 5, 5, 0, 0. So 255,000. Yep. And then we have to do the allowance for the full account, and then we start with a write-off immediately. Remember that if you do this by hand, or your professor might want you to write what it is. So this one would be beginning balance. So just write beginning balance yeah, in order to demonstrate. And this one would be wrote write off, of course. So write off with this one, and etc. Yeah. Beginning balance of debtful accounts was 9,000, right? Debtful accounts 9,000. Recovery 3,000. Yeah. Bad debt was from the previous question. We calculated it right here, right? So add it here as well. 13,000. Like this, like that. And if you calculate, you will get 20,000. See, so we get 20,000. And this is how you calculate this kind of question. Yeah, pretty simple. Two tables: account receivable, account for debtful account. Write them off. You know, take that one minus that. This one here minus this one here to get to determine the ending balance, pretty much. Yeah, and it's yeah. So let's look at the next question. So calculate the net realizable value of receivables at the end of the period. Yeah, we have done this already here. So just take this 255 minus this 20,000, and that will give you the result for this. Then you just write something in line with net value of receivables is, how much was it? So it's 255 minus 20,000. That's 235,000. So it's 235,000 dollar. Yeah. So that is pretty much how you do it. But we have now learned how to prepare entries to record sales, collection, write-off, uncollectible account, recover of uncollectible accounts, and debt expense. We have also determined the ending balances of account receivable and allowance of debt accounts and calculating the net realizable value. As always, videos are going to become more technical, and basic knowledge of financial accounting is essential. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and remember to subscribe to get notified when we upload new videos. And I would like to thank you, wish you good luck and a good health and etc. Yeah, so have a good day. Yeah.